Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to our Smart Investor channel. So today we're going to look at my top 5 predictions for Tesla, NIO, Alibaba, Square, and LCA. And we're going to go in depth as well. Listen, to be honest, I'm invested in all 5 of those stocks in pretty good amounts. I have initial positions. I'm looking for dips, so I'm going to let you know where are my rebuy points for those 5 stocks as well. And also to give you some of their financials, if you know, are they healthy? Where do I think they're going towards? And definitely my final price targets that I believe by towards the end of the year, where are they going to land in terms of stock price. So I'll share all that with you. So stay tuned throughout the whole video. All I ask from you is, listen, if you like the video, please hit that like button. It really helps and supports the channel, but also it supports me so I can continue to do research and provide you this content as well. And please subscribe so you don't miss any of the videos that I'll do in the future that has great, amazing information that I'll be providing to you. So listen, let's get down to it. All right, guys, so let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla has been having a phenomenal year. I mean, just before COVID-19 hit, they were pretty much at 166, 183, and then took a huge hit to $86. I mean, guys, if imagine if we we had taken that position, I mean, congratulations to whoever did. That's been an amazing ride upwards afterwards. And you know, they went all the way to more or less almost $500 since they've been flirting pretty much at the 400s level. But since, you know, as you can see, they pretty much stagnated at that point until, as you know, the S&P news, as you can see, they just skyrocketed. It went from 411 all the way to where they are today at 585. I firmly believe, listen guys, this is just the beginning. S&P news is not done with it. We're really not done with going upwards. And I'm pretty much invested. I pretty much bought this one. Listen guys, I was at 380-ish level. I rebought at 414, I believe, 412. So I'm pretty heavily invested in this one. It's actually my top one investment at this point. I'm a great believer of Tesla, not only because they do EV, but they do so much more than that, right? So great company to have. So let's take a closer look in terms of PE, right? P definitely they're really high. They're at 1,160. That's humongous. The average for S&P is 15. Obviously in high tech, well, you know, we can expect much higher than 15, of course, but this is nonetheless pretty high evaluation, right? So price per earnings. What does that mean is, well, you know, definitely we are paying a highly priced stock here. I think it's, you know, an anticipation for great news and what's to come next. It's definitely though overbought. So am I expecting a turnaround for a dip side on Tesla? Definitely yes. Is it coming? Do I believe in the next couple of days? I wouldn't believe so. I think S&P we're still to fully integrate the concept of S&P. There's still funds. I think it's in the course of next week we'll be knowing companies how much money they're going to put into this, right? So there's still a lot of injection of purchasing of stocks to be done by these firms. So that's going to boost the price even more so. My personal opinion. Okay, listen, guys. So I'm already positioned. I've averaged my cost at more or less, you know, 400, I think 398 or so. And I think it's overbought, though there is momentum. So I will keep buying this one, but I will sell a certain level once it hits 650 more or less. Do I believe they're going to hit this by the end of the year? Yes, absolutely. I think, and personally, I think I will definitely wait for that moment. I will sell a portion of my position and to just rebuy into other corporations that I firmly believe in or into Tesla because I think there will be a dip, right, side to this. Do I think it's going to fall lower than 400 as it has been in the last couple of months? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to go anywhere close to that 400 unless there's some significant change in direction or news or something that backlashes from Tesla. My first purchase point will be at less than between 500 and 550. If it goes there, I'd be happy to have a first position. If it goes less than 500, that's a no-brainer for me. I'll definitely be repurchasing heavily at that point, especially if it goes towards the 400s, but I don't believe it's a low probability at this point. But is it overbought? Yes. Is it going to continue to go up? I believe so. Will I buy as it goes up at this point? Absolutely not. I'm going to wait for those dips. And as I said, if there's no dips and it reaches 650, I'll sell a portion of my stocks and rebuy on the downside as it goes down. So listen, Tesla is also doing great from a financial perspective. If we look here at very high level, listen, they're in positive net income, 300 here, so it's pretty good. Assets wise versus liabilities, total equity very strong here. We're talking about 16,000 here in the millions, right? So that's pretty amazing, and they're positive in net cash. I mean, guys, this is actually pretty good, pretty strong. We see a lot of high techs here are negative, right? A lot of research and development and whatnot. So this is great news to see a EV company, but also overall, they're a tech company, right? So very interesting to see positive cash. So I'm a great believer not only because of Elon Musk, the vision, the inventions, the technology, the investments, the car autonomy, cars. There's a lot of great things going on for them, and they have the financials to prove it. So that's great. In terms of last earnings, it was actually it beat estimates. So that's also always good and positive. They actually exceeded the estimates here, 0.76 against estimate of 0.59 in terms of EPS. In terms of revenue, well, they did 8.77 billion against estimate of 8.43 million. Sorry. So this is huge difference, right? So um, I'm looking forward for next year. I think Tesla is going to do amazing. I will think there will be a dip though, so do wait for that great moment if you haven't had a position yet. If I personally wasn't invested already in Tesla and had a low average cost, I would probably wait for the downside of Tesla before I purchased officially because there's way too much momentum. So listen, that's it for Tesla. All right, guys, so let's take a look at NEO. NEO has been tremendous great stock. If we look just even before July, they were at $3.60, and they're all the way up to $54 today, as high as 55. And so listen, for those that got invested early here in the game, July, even later in July, all the way to August, I mean, you guys have been doing juicy profits. I unfortunately got in a bit later. Average cost more or less of $24, so still pretty amazing. But I mean, congratulations to anybody who got in before as well. Um, Neo has been doing great. In the last week, though, they've been pretty much flirting and stagnating here at the between anywhere between 51 and 54. So that's we're gonna take a closer look at what I anticipate, what's my prediction towards the end of the year, and past that moment as well. But before we do so, let's take a quick look here at their finances as well. Their PE rate, unfortunately, is not noticed here, but let's face it, definitely Neo is being overbought versus the revenues. I think it's more of the hype, their anticipation towards revenues for next year. Their last earnings was definitely a huge catalyst as well. And overall, the EV sector is just booming. I mean, these guys are gonna definitely do very well in China. They're backed up by the government as well of China. So Neo, I think, will do pretty tremendously well as well. I think I have a prediction for next year as well. So let's look at their finances first. All right, so when we look at their finances for Neo, Neo doesn't have the best balance sheet, to be honest. I mean, net income, they're pretty much in a lot of negative here. Total equity, they don't have assets, right? Significant to pass on to the liabilities, so they're in negative. And cash flow, I mean, it's not there, but let's just face the reality here. They're pretty much probably in negative as well, right? So we'll have to take a look at their last earnings to be sure. In terms of their last earnings, well, they did actually pretty well, right? So they beat estimates both on EPS and revenue. So EPS, they were expecting a minus 1.18, they got 0.98, and revenues, they were expecting 4.37 billions, and they beat it by 4 million and 53. 4.53 billions. So that's pretty good. It's pretty healthy as well, and we're anticipating for this to rise, of course, next year, Q1. as we're expecting higher sales. What's good about Neo? I mean, listen, guys. I mean, they got their own battery. They got the program as well to rent batteries. So they're expanding in China, like I said. They have the backup for support from China as well, government, and they are expected to expand in Europe as well. They already have also opened their market there. Okay, so what I'm looking for Neo, I believe by my prediction towards the end of the year, it should hit $60. I think that's my prudent estimate. I believe that it can go to $65 if we are being optimistic. What am I gonna do? All right, so I think right now it's definitely overbought, right? Will it dip before the end of the year? There's a chance that yes. If it does, my first initial purchase point would be anywhere below $50. So between $45 and $50, which I don't think is going to go in the 40s, but let's say it does, definitely close to 50 below, I will be purchasing. If it goes below 45, I will definitely buy a lot more shares. Because I suspect that this will be dragging as a momentum towards the Neo Day, which is next year Q1, and that I think stock price to be overbought at that point could be very, very significant. Definitely above 65, right? So anywhere between 65 and 90. I mean, this could be huge, guys. Obviously, at that point, it's going to be overbought quite tremendously, but nonetheless, it's Neo. I think it's likable. There's a lot of people putting in money in this, and from that moment on, I think it's going to depend a lot on their next earnings. But definitely, there will be dips opportunities throughout Q1 and Q2. That being said, listen, guys, I'm a great believer of Neo. Definitely, I'm looking forward for those dips before the end of the year. So that's for Neo. That's my perspective. Let me know what you guys think as well. Let's move on now to the next one, which is Alibaba.